What's up, guys? Welcome to Kingdom Lion CAD. In this video, we're going to be designing a steamer rack. This is a really simple exercise to learn and/or become more familiar with using the swap boss command. Okay, let's get into it now. Okay, first things first, we're going to start by setting our units to millimeters. All right. Now, let's start on the top plane. Top plane, new sketch. We're going to choose the circle command. Circle. All right. Now, smart dimension. You're going to make it 60 millimeters. Now we go to polygon. Go to the origin. And before we hit enter on this, we're going to change it to for construction. It's going to have construction geometry. All right. Okay. And then we want to give it a vertical relation. Cool. All right, smart dimension. Point. This point, we're gonna make this 107 millimeters. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing again. Select polygon, origin. All right there. Select this line. Make it horizontal. All right, check mark. Now we go to smart dimension. This line. We're gonna make it 153 millimeters. Oops, and I forgot to make that. That's supposed to be construction geometry as well. So what we'll do is, instead of undoing it, we'll just select each line. Hit control and select each line. All right. Now go for construction. All right, check mark. Okay, now we're good. So now we can close this sketch. And now we're gonna go to front plane. So select front plane, sketch. And go to the circle command. We're just gonna draw a circle. It doesn't matter what size it is. All right, we're gonna move this sketch right here. What we're gonna do is select the center point of the circle and then select this line right here. And what we wanna do is give it a pierce relation. We don't wanna make it coincident, we wanna pierce it. So pierce, select, okay. And then we're gonna give it a dimension. Select the circle. 2.5 millimeters. All right, close the sketch. Now we're gonna go to features. Swap boss. When you come in, you should automatically see the sketch highlighted under the profile right here. So now we go to the guideline or the path, and we want to select the circle. Go back. Didn't do it. Try it again. Sketch and circle. All right, right click. There you have it. Good. All right, now we want to go over here to the original sketch, and we want to turn on the visibility. Now go back to the top plane. Top plane, new sketch. We're gonna go to circle. circle. What we're gonna do is click this point right here in the circle and make it coincident. Coincident. Okay. Now we go to center line. Go from the origin to the center point of the circle. Okay. And then make that line vertical. Okay. Now we're gonna give the circle a dimension of 35 millimeters. Right. Now we go to circle sketch pattern. Circular sketch pattern. Go to instances, type 6. Then entities to pattern. We're going to pattern this center line and this circle. Right click, enter. Okay. Now we're just going to repeat the process over again, except we're gonna do it on the outside right here. So circle. Right. Now we want to make these circles tangent. So control circle, select the circle, tangent. Same thing for this one. Make it tangent. Okay. Now center line, go to the origin, center point, click. Okay. Now let's give it a dimension of 20 millimeters. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing. Go to circular pattern sketch. Circular sketch pattern. Excuse me. Instances. 6. Entities of pattern. We're going to choose this circle and that center line. Right click. And there you have it. Right now, we have to do some trimming. So go to the trim command, trim entities. And you just click, left click, and just drag it all the way around. Hit every circle. Okay. And now come on the inside and do the same thing for the bigger circle. So trim, 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 and trim. And as you can see, now we have a fully defined sketch. If we didn't put those center lines in, then this sketch wouldn't be fully defined. We would have to go back and all of that to it. So it's easier just to do it on the front end when you do the initial sketches. So now we hit the check mark, and that's the end of that sketch. So close that sketch. Now we go to the front plane again. Front plane, sketch. Now we go to circle, draw a circle. All right. Now we're going to select this line right here and then select the center point of the circle. And once again, we go to pierce. So the circle can pierce that line. Dimension, once again, 2.5. Close the sketch. Go to feature, swept boss. All right. If the circle was already highlighted, it's already in the box. So all we have to do is select our path, and our path is going to be the previous sketch. There you have it. Right click. Okay. All right. So now we do it again. Go to the top plane. New sketch, circle command, draw a circle. All right, we're gonna make the circle coincident with this point right here. Coincident incident. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to center line. Take a center line, draw a vertical center line to this point right here. All right. And then we're going to go again to the center line. Go to the center of the circle. All right. So let's dimension this circle now. So smart dimension. And that is going to be 40 millimeters. All right. Okay. And now so that we can define this, we're going to go to smart dimension again. And we're going to set this angle to 30 degrees. Okay. Now we're going to repeat the process again. Go to circular, sketch pattern, instances, fix, entities to pattern. We're going to select the center line and the circle. Right click, good to go. All right. Now we go to circle again. Circle. Now we're going to make this circle tangent to this circle and this circle. So click on this circle and this circle. Tangent. Boom. All right, once again. Tangent. Boom. All right, now let's give it some dimension. We're going to dimension, circle, and let's go with 60 millimeters. All right. Once again, we go to center line, origin, and draw this line up here to the center point. Okay. So we go back to circular sketch pattern, instances, fix, entities to pattern, select the center line. Make sure you don't select down here because remember we have two center lines, one that's on top of the other. So make sure you're selecting this top line versus this bottom line. You can see when it's highlighted. So select this line and this circle. Right click, good to go. All right, now we go back to trim entities. Trim entities. Trim, trim, trim. Okay. And now we come to the inside. Trim, trim, trim. Trim, 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 and trim. Now we have a fully defined sketch. We know because it's got the gray silhouette. All right, we hit the check mark. Close the sketch. Now, once again, we go back to the front plane. Front plane, sketch. I'll tilt this a little bit. Go to circle, draw a circle. All right, now we're going to select this arc. Select the arc, and then select the center point of the circle. And we're going to pierce that line with the circle. Okay. Now go to smart dimension. And once again, this is a very repetitive exercise. 2.5. All right. Close the sketch. Now we go back to swept boss. The sketch is already highlighted. You can see right here, it's already in blue. So now we just go to the path that we want to choose, which is this. And there you have it. Right click. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to the top plane. But before we do that, we want to get rid of this sketch because we don't need it anymore. So right click on the sketch, go to visibility and click hide, and it goes away. All right, so now we go back to the top plane sketch. All right. So now we're going to go to line. We're going to draw a line on the inside of this circle right here. So we're going to use this line, this highlighted line right here. Yeah, I knew it was going to do that. All right. So before we do that, let's go to center line. All right. So hit here and here. Okay. And then we're going to go to a line command. We want this line to be constrained to this inside line right here. You'll see why once we get. All right. You're gonna make sure when you draw this line, it's not attached to this guideline right here. You don't want that, but you do want it to be pointed inwards. So let's do it like that. It doesn't have to be a specific length. So line again. This point right here. All right. We're gonna go back to center line. I'm just gonna attach that right there. All right. Then we're gonna select both center lines, and we're gonna make them parallel. Okay. Now go back to center line, and we're just gonna draw a vertical center line right here. Doesn't matter what the distance is, just draw a vertical center line. And we go back to center line again, origin. Oh wait, no, let's not do that. All right, let's go back to center line. Let's go to the midpoint of this center line and put it right here to this center line, midpoint. Okay. Now let's go to smart dimension. And we're going to make this line 20 millimeters. All right. And this line 15 millimeters. All right. And this line go 55 millimeters. All right. And then once we do that, we're going to give this relation to these lines. These two lines need to be equal. So select both lines, equal. Okay. Check mark. And now we go back to smart dimension. Click this vertical line and this line right here. And we're going to give it a dimension of 120 degrees. Okay. It's fully defined. Now we close the sketch. All right, now let's go to reference geometry. Click reference geometry, and we're going to create a couple of planes. So we go to plane, and then our first reference plane, we want to select right here. Let's choose top plane. Top plane, and I want the top plane to be 2.49 millimeters below the top plane. All right, so as you can see, it's on top. What we're gonna do is flip offset. It's gonna go to the bottom. All right, check mark. Okay. And you know what? We put that on the wrong plane. So we put it on the wrong plane. So this is what we can do. Come over here to the design tree right click on the sketch, go to edit sketch plane. No, we can't do that either. So what we have to do is we have to go back and put the plane above the sketch, because it won't allow us to put it on that sketch because it's below it. So we want to put the plane above the sketch so that we can put the sketch on that plane, if that makes sense, right? So now we select the sketch, go to edit plane sketch, edit sketch plane, click on it, and instead of the top plane, put it on the plane that we just created. So plane 1. All right. Check mark. Okay. So now it's on the plane that we created, not the top plane. All right. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you mess up and you have to go back and rearrange things. That's what's perfect about, having certain commands in SolidWorks. They kind of have it set up to where you can, if you make a mistake, then you can fix it. All right. So now what we want to do is turn the visibility off, and we're going to go back to reference geometry, plane, and we're going to select this line. That's our first reference, and then select top plane and check mark. And we're going to repeat this process. Reference geometry, plane. I'm going to select the other line. Top plane, check mark. And one more time, we're going to select that center line. Let's go reference geometry, plane. Our first reference is the center line right here. And then we're going to go top plane. Good to go. All right. So that we can see what's going on, we're going to temporarily hide this plane right here. All right, so we're going to select plane 2, new sketch. And what we're going to do is we're going to convert entities. So hit convert entities, select this line, right click, okay. Now go to line on this point. And make sure it's vertical. It's a vertical line. And we're going to give it a dimension of, let's go 40 millimeters. So 40 millimeters, right? And now we're going to go to fillet. So go to sketch fillet, and we're going to give it a dimension of 5 millimeters. And then we select this endpoint right here. And then right click. Okay. Check mark. Now we have our sketch. So exit sketch. And now we're going to go to plane number 4. So plane 4, new sketch. Turn it around so you can see it. All right. And we're going to go circle. And once again, circle. And then select this line, the sketch that you just drew. And the spinning point. And we're going to pierce. Okay. Okay. And then smart dimension, you guessed it, 2.5. All right. So close the sketch. Swept boss. And our sketch is already highlighted. So just select the path Now, when you do this, make sure you're not select. If you see when I hover over this line, it selects the sketch that we already had right there, right? So we don't want that. We want to select that line right there. That way it draws the appropriate sketch. Right click. Okay. So we're done with that. Now we just repeat that process for the second time with this side over here. So let's go back to plane 3, turn visibility on, and we can turn visibility off on plane 2. So hide. All right. So plane 3, new sketch. All right. And go to a line, go to the endpoint. Oh, before we do that, escape. All right, before we do that, we're gonna go to convert entities. So convert entities. You want to convert this line right here. Right click, enter. All right, now we go to line. Select the endpoint. Make sure it's 90 degrees. Okay. Dimension 40 millimeters. Okay. Now we go to sketch fillet. Should have 5 in there already. Hit the endpoint. Right click. So we can exit that sketch. And we go back to plane 4 and repeat the process over again. So plane 4, new sketch. Go to circle. Draw a circle. We're going to select this line right here. And then select the center point of the circle. We're going to pierce. Okay. Dimension 2.5. Now we can close the sketch. All right, now we go to swept boss. Our sketch is already highlighted, so we just select our path, which is right here. Right click, enter. Okay. Now we have that. All right, so now we can turn off this plane right here. Visibility off. We don't need that anymore. We can turn this plane off. But now what we need is, we need the sketch from what we just did. We don't need this either. So we can turn this off as well. All right, so we go to the sketches that we just did. So we want this sketch, show, and we want to show this sketch, show. All right. What that's going to allow us to do is create another plane so that we can finish the last part of this this leg right here. So reference geometry, plane, and our first reference, you can pick either or, it doesn't matter. Just select the line. One line, and then our second is this line. Right click. There you go. That's our plane. So now we select this plane, new sketch. And what we're gonna do is go to ellipse. So we want to create an ellipse. So ellipse. It doesn't matter what size it is for the moment, because we're going to give it dimension. Just want to draw it, right? So Now we select the line, select this line, and this point, pierce. Okay. Select this line, and this point, pierce. All right. Now we go to center line, and we draw from point to point. Okay. Now we go to dimension, point, center line. We're going to give that a dimension of 10 millimeters. Right. Now we go to trim entities because we don't need the top of this sketch. Trim. Boom. There you go. Check. That's the end of that sketch. So we close the sketch. Now, select the bottom of this face right here. Select this face. You can select this face or this face. It doesn't matter. But we're just going to select this one. And we're going to go new sketch. Okay. And all we're going to do is convert entities. Convert entities, select the face. And it's going to give you that circle. Right click to enter. Okay. So now we have this profile and we have our path that we just created. So close the sketch. Now we go to Swept Boss. We have our sketch already filled out. So now we just select the path. Our path is right here. Okay, right click. There we go. Now we can turn off this plane. We can turn off this sketch. Turn this sketch off as well. Okay, now we go. And now what we need to do is we need to recreate this leg 2 more times. So before we can do that, we need to have an axis. So go to reference geometry, axis. And we're gonna go to the top plane. And then we're gonna select the origin. Hit OK. Now we go to linear pattern. We go to the drop menu and we go to circular pattern. Select circular pattern. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose direction. Our direction is going to be about the axis, which is this axis right here. For instances, we're going to put 3. And then we're going to choose feature. Our feature is what we just created. This, and this. Right click, enter. And there you have it, guys. A stainless steel steamer rack. Comment down below what you think about this. Was it easy? Was it hard? Let me know. What would you like to see next on the channel? I thank you for watching and God bless. Peace.